Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, local manufacturers to have a piece of government's housing revolution. Flow pays out its first $10,000 grand prize in its Bag of Money campaign, and the NCCU scholarship recipients told to develop a growth mindset. The details coming up.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. Ani mettez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Are you still washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
First up in the news, Prime Minister Skerrit has offered to facilitate Dominicans stranded overseas trying to get back home. As was articulated at a news conference this week, Prime Minister Skerrit said illegal entry into the country will not be tolerated. Prime Minister Skerrit was due to have met with a Haitian delegation this week to discuss the issue, but no word yet on whether that meeting has taken place. Speaking on his most recent TV show, the Prime Minister said Dominicans who were stranded abroad should seek assistance on how to proceed lawfully. Apparently, Haitian nationals are not the only ones entering the country illegally. There are worries surrounding illegal entry, as it could spark a resurgence or second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We will not take lightly anybody who is coming to the country, whether you're a citizen of Dominica coming to Dominica illegally or a non-citizen. If you're a citizen and you're stranded in Guadeloupe or Martinique, go to the consulate that we have in these countries or send a message to a family and friend who can go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the Ministry of National Security, and we will facilitate you coming to Dominica through the legal channels. But we are very, very concerned about the illegal entry into Dominica by people. You come into a country, we will test you to ensure that you don't have COVID-19 for your own good, for the good of your family, and for the good of the country. If we test and you test negative, we'll send you home. If you come in and you test positive, we'll provide you with care and ensure that we can protect the rest of the community from this spread of COVID-19. But the idea of people coming into this country and slipping in, we have zero tolerance for this. Zero tolerance for this. And we will be acting very swiftly and very decisively on this matter. And so Dominicans who are facilitating people coming to our country illegally, stop. Just stop that practice, because we will not relent in our efforts towards addressing this matter. People know me. I facilitated people coming to our country, providing them with citizenship, with residence permits, work permits. These are our brothers and sisters. We're prepared to do so for any nationality in the world, But let us do it legally and respectfully, and take into consideration all of the necessary protocols and guidelines where COVID-19 is concerned.
The Prime Minister says while government is willing to assist those in distress, slipping into the country and getting into homes and communities is unacceptable.
We are seeing a resurgence of COVID-19 in the Caribbean, and we're very, very, very careful. We've opened up to visitors, but we're seeking to maintain some very strong protocols and guidelines. I do not want us to be too complacent in this country, because as I said in my opening comments, the last thing we want to happen in this country is to see a resurgence of COVID-19 to the point where we have to close down the economy. If we close down the economy, many of us in this country will have, well, all of us rather in this country will have great difficulty in surviving. This is the fact. And so let us not be reckless and behave with a mindset of abandonment.
Furniture manufacturers have been given the opportunity to gainfully participate in government's housing revolution. They met with Cabinet and the head of the Montreal Management Consultants MMCE, Chris Timmins. As outlined in the 2020-2021 national budget, government has taken a deliberate decision that going forward with respect to government building of homes, only locally manufactured kitchen cabinets and closets will be utilized.
I want you not to take that lightly. That is an enormous responsibility that we are putting in your hands. Therefore, it will require you to put your best foot forward, your skills to manage your time, your resources, because that is some of the challenges we face at times when we are given projects in Dominica. At times, you say, okay, I'll give that to you in 2 weeks, 2 months, and 6 months later, you have not delivered on the good. But I believe with the group of you who have come here today and the seriousness you are showing in this multi-million-dollar project, I believe you will deliver on schedule. Can I trust you for that? So my encouragement to you today is that use this opportunity wisely. This is an opportunity for you to brand yourself on a multi-million-dollar project. That is something no one will be able to take away from you. Your signature on that project. Anytime you pass by any of those apartments, you will be able to say, these furniture inside there, these cupboards are my signature. This is my handiwork. And that is something that you can be proud of as a Dominican.
Prime Minister Skerrit told furniture manufacturers the engagement with them will expand beyond home furnishings.
We are also taking it further, that in respect to school furniture, that we will utilize local artisans, local furniture makers to manufacture the furniture for our schools in Dominica as well. Now, we engage in ourselves here in a very sincere manner. Now, there will be always the issue of critical mass and our collective or individual abilities to deliver in terms of the volume of work that may be required from time to time and the time frame within which to deliver on these contractual obligations. So the intention here is not only to meet with you today and then we part our separate ways and who gets a contract, who doesn't get a contract, doesn't get a contract. We would like, through the Ministry of Small Business Development, to engage you, and this is one of the things I believe that you need to go back to the days when you were more organized. And it's important for you to organize yourself into a functioning and functional association so that the government can engage a body on these matters. Because it is certainly impossible for a prime minister to meet every furniture manufacturer in the country one-on-one.
Congratulations to Flo's first $10,000 prize winner, Dwayne Bellott of Bath Estate. The new postpaid customer and employee of Dominica National Lotteries received quite a surprise on Friday when the Flo team arrived at his place of work bearing some really good news.
Are you all happy for him? Alright, wonderful. So, when did you become a Flo customer?
I actually was just last week. I signed up for a postpaid number.
Just last week?
Yeah, last week.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was starting a business and I wanted to have a Flo postpaid number, so I signed up for one as soon as possible. I guess that was probably the best thing I ever did.
But before that, how long had you been a Flo customer?
Well, I've been using Flo for work. It's been, and I use it for my main data services. Every time I have both numbers, they were the same, but Flo is the one I use for everything.
That's right.
So it's only a little bit better. for my purposes.
Say that again.
Service around the alley is better for my purposes.
That's correct.
That's right.
I'm also on the road. I'm also on different corners of the island. So that's.
So the flow works better for you then?
Yes.
Alright. Oh, I'm so happy you are. Okay. So what you gonna do with that 10 now?
I'm going to save, invest. My mother's actually in the hospital right now.
Oh.
And this comes very timely. Yeah?
That's wow.
It's exactly what I need right now.
Oh my goodness. So you see, it came to the right place.
I'm extremely happy on behalf of Vietnam National Lottery that Dwayne Thomas is your winner. Dwayne Bennett is your winner, and I know that he really deserves it, and I know it will go a long way. So thank you, Flo, and we continue to be a partner with you.
For Dwayne, whose mother is hospitalized, this $10,000 cash prize could not have come at a better time, as he had been concerned about the medical bills.
We're very happy that Dwayne here has won this $10,000, and we want to ask you, Wayne, what would you say to the customers out there, especially those who are not yet on the Flow network, in terms of being part of the Flow family?
Well, I'd say thank you to Flo, honestly speaking. I didn't expect it, it's a surprise. I appreciate that just becoming, I'm not my own customer on my own grounds, and I already see my returns. I would just like to say to you guys, at least even if you don't get the $10,000, you're gonna get quality service. You're gonna get coverage all over the island, and honestly, the data rates and all the packages that they have are very high level. So just take a chance. You might be lucky.
Thank you so much, Dwayne, and congratulations to you again. You could also be a winner. Fancy, tell them what they need to do.
Of course, you simply need to top up $10 a month, activate and always on combo plan. You can port in or sign up for a post-it plan like he did, and you can get yourself into the bag to win a lot of money.
Sign up for one for bundle packages.
Yes, definitely.
And you could win. We still have the weekly draws going on where we do one $500 and two $250 prizes.
Another lucky Flow customer will win another $10,000 grand prize in September. The presentation of 17 scholarships on Thursday brings to 73 the number of students currently attending secondary school with assistance from the NCCU. For the 2019-2020 academic year, expenses for the NCCU scholarship program totaled $85,000.
The NCCU is therefore pleased to be in a position to make a difference in the lives of our members and their respective families. The secondary school scholarship covers the provision of textbooks and other school supplies to a maximum of $700 per student, an annual uniform allowance of $500 per student in the first year and $300 for continuing students, the payment of school fees, which ranges from $50 to $525 per student, the provision of a monthly transportation allowance ranging from $50 to $80 per student, the payment of examination fees for third formers recommended by their schools to write the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, CCSLC, and the payment of the CSEC fees for scholarship recipients in fifth forms based on the recommendations of their schools. In addition to the awarding of scholarships, the NCCU Limited assists other families on behalf of students, both for members and non-members, by providing textbooks and other school supplies from existing stocks.
Dublin reminded students that the next 5 years of their lives would determine their future.
Others have encouraged you, and the very fact that you are here today indicates that you are already well on the path to lifelong success. I bid you every good wish. In addition, I am requesting that you get involved in community activities to uplift yourself and your community. Play your part in developing a caring and nurturing community.
Dublin has challenged the students to develop a growth mindset.
There is a dichotomy between two types of mindset. You can either have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. Persons with fixed mindsets avoid challenges. Today you are called upon to embrace challenges, and that is one characteristic of a growth mindset. Fixed mindset persons tend to give up easily. Nurture the fact that you need to persist in the face of setbacks. You're going to have setbacks, but please ensure that you continue, toe the line, do what you have to do, study hard and for long hours sometimes so that you grow. Persons with growth mindsets see effort as a path to mastery, while persons with fixed mindsets see that as being fruitless, and therefore they go and they cheat and get all kinds of ways in which to get high marks. A growth mindset student that you will be would see that as a path to mastery. A fixed mindset person would ignore useful criticism that is sometimes negative. A growth mindset person learns from criticism. So do not be scared of criticism, rather learn from it. When fixed mindset people are confronted with the success of others, they feel threatened. Be a growth mindset person. Look at successful people. Find lessons and inspirations in their successes.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
With Flow, win a bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
Yo, check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Are you still washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. Parents of NCCU scholarship recipients have been called upon to play their part in modeling their children into well-adjusted members of society. NCCU President Josephine Dublin has told parents it's within their power to help shape their children's outlook on school and life in general. She urged them to take a keen interest in their children's well-being.
To you parents, I say you are the first teachers. Attitudes, good or bad, learnt at home will be carried to school. Instill in your child a love for learning new things from very young. Teach them that it is all right to fail, but that they must try again and do so with humility and a desire to do better. Instill in them respect for authority. Remember, they spend most of their work hours with you, away from you, and indeed manners at home do carry abroad. Please, parents, pay attention to what is happening in your children's lives. In so doing, you will raise not only a good child, but a good student.
Mrs. Dublin says the annual scholarships are part of the NCCU's commitment to developing the country's human resource base.
The annual awarding of secondary school scholarships is the NCCU's way of investing in the human resource potential of our society, while at the same time expressing and demonstrating gratitude to you, our valuable membership. Always remember that the NCCU Limited remains committed in its quest to the development of youth of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
The World Health Organization officials have provided an update on the COVID-19 vaccine trials and progress. This as global cases top 20 million along with over 700,000 deaths. WHO's Director General said the organization's COVID-19 accelerator tool has already shown results with 9 vaccine candidates currently going under phase 2 or 3 trials for approval.
Through the COVAX Global Vaccines Facility, countries that represent nearly 70% of the global population have signed up or expressed an interest to be part of the new initiative. On therapeutics, the first proven therapy for severe COVID-19, dexamethasone, was announced in June with support from the Therapeutic Accelerator arm and is currently in scale-up. On diagnostics, more than 50 tests are currently in evaluation, and new evidence has been generated around rapid antigen detection tests that could be game-changing. The ACT Accelerator is the only global framework for ensuring the fair and equitable allocation of COVID-19 tools. But it must be financed to be successful.
Dr. Tedros says COVID-19 is costing the global economy trillions.
IMF estimates the pandemic costs the global economy $375 billion a month and predicts a cumulative loss to the global economy over 2 years of over $12 trillion. The world has already spent trillions dealing with the short-term consequences of the pandemic. G20 countries alone have mobilized more than $10 trillion in fiscal stimulus to treat and mitigate the consequences of the pandemic. That's already more than 3.5 times as much as the world spent in the entire response to the global financial crisis. It's easy to think of the ACT Accelerator as a research and development effort, but in reality, it's the best economic stimulus the world can invest. Funding the ACT Accelerator will cost a tiny fraction in comparison to the alternative where economies retract further and require continued fiscal stimulus packages.
Tedros says the WHO estimates the world will need to spend at least $100 billion on new tools, especially any new vaccines that are developed.
The first and most immediate need is $31.3 billion for the ACT Accelerator. The ACT Accelerator is the only up and running global initiative that brings together all the global research and development, manufacturing, regulatory, purchasing, and procurement needed for all the tools required to end the pandemic.
And Tropical Storm Josephine has weakened, but weather forecasters say there is a possibility it could strengthen again. Here's Friday morning's update.
Eye on the tropics. Boy, it is busy from the Atlantic all the way to the Pacific. The Pacific had 4 systems the other day. Now we're down to at least 2. We're watching 2 areas for development. They've got a tropical depression 10. Of course, we have Josephine and an invest we're watching. So the first on Josephine, a tropical storm down to 40 miles per hour. It has weakened since yesterday because it's still fighting all that dry air and wind shear. So it's not in the best environment, but it's maintaining itself, and it could strengthen and kind of pulse up a little bit more as we go throughout the next couple of days. It will stay north of the islands. Here's the the Leeward Islands. Here's Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands. So staying north of there as it travels towards the northwest, possibly getting up to 50 mile per hour sustained winds. Then it will start to weaken as it makes this kind of northerly turn as we go into Monday and Tuesday. Notice back down to a depression and then weakening to non-tropical low pressure as we go into Wednesday. Then it'll get up towards the Bermuda area. So some good news. Not really going to be an issue for anyone except for the ships out there. So that is certainly some good news, and not really a strong storm either. By the way, yes, it is our earliest J storm. It beat Jose August 22nd, 2005. It formed on August 13th, of course, yesterday. But when we're talking about comparing these 2005 records, which we've beaten quite a few, do not even compare to that season. So in 2005, we're looking at the ACE, it's the accumulated cyclone energy. So think of the energy a storm produces. We were sitting at 81 in 2005. We're only sitting at 23. So that's a large difference in those numbers. It just tells you that most systems that have formed this year have been pretty weak, whereas in 05, we'd already dealt with multiple category 4s and even a category 5. So none of that has happened yet. Tropical Invest 96L also being monitored off the North Carolina coast. It's going to be heading into the Atlantic. That's also some good news. Could become our next storm. It would be either depression or maybe getting to Kyle. That is our K storm. And then after K, we're getting to Laura. So we're well into the list, maybe breaking more records. By the way, we do expect the next probably 4 weeks or so to get pretty active. Of course, we're heading into the peak of the season.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
With Flow, when I bag our money, cash out. Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
Yo, check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, a look again at the headlines. Local furniture manufacturers to have a piece of government's housing revolution. Flow pays out its first $10,000 grand prize in its Bag of Money campaign. And the NCCU scholarship recipients told to develop a growth mindset. You may access the news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.